Yo, guys, it's your boy Kage, and I'm here with another what if. Now, guys, I know I literally just did one, but I'm gonna do another one because that one was very, very short, and I think y'all will. 'Cause I just did it a couple minutes ago. I think I will dislike it because it was rushed. But if I do not dislike it, and I like it. That's good for me. It's good for you. Let's get into the party, man. You invited too. Yeah. So this is what if you can't see it, but I bet you can. But this is what if Deku was the Undead Lord. Now I can't wait this by myself because I was thinking I never did it like this, so I'm gonna just do it. Now let's get into it. Now Deku is quirkless. Like he's quirkless. He's identified as quirkless. He's a quirkless loser. Well, that's what people say. He has no quirk. He wants a quirk. He desires to be the best hero that he can ever be, better than the number one hero in the world, All Might. Now, everybody admires All Might with all their heart. That's the best hero in their generation ever, probably in history. Now, that's what he desires. That's what he wants to be desired to be. Never had any bad intention of becoming a villain. Never ever had a bad intention of becoming something evil or killing. Now, when you identify when you identify Quirkless, he lost hope. But then he saw that smile of All Might and thought maybe he can be the first Quirkless hero ever. But one day when he told his best friend, childhood friend, that he was quirkless, everything went to hell. His best friend and his group started to bully him every single day he went to school. Even on the weekend went to the park. They forced him to come to get beat up. He had no choice. And he didn't want to make his mom worried, so he figured it out like he had injuries playing football or playing tag things like that. He tells lies every single day to his mother, which she's expecting something, but just shoves it off. But she has a very bad feeling. Now, Deku still wants to be a hero, no matter what anybody tells him. He still strives to be a hero. Now, let's go to when Deku's actually on the last day of middle school. No, matter of fact, let's go to when he's on the Let's go. Yeah, let's go to when he's in the middle year of the second year. So in the middle of the year on the second year, let's go to that. So then Deku just got an idea of him training himself. Now he wants to train himself in the future. So if he does get a quirk, or if he does not get a quirk, he can at least use his physical attributes to get stronger, faster, and maybe he using weapons so make it easier for him to do the job. He might not be a top hero, but he'll be a good hero to the people. Now this is when Deku starts to train his body, doing push-ups, sit-ups, jumping jacks, running. He's doing all that. Now guys, let's go to the last year middle school. Deku body is not toned, but he's fit. He's fit all right. He has a 8 pack, but it doesn't really show even even when he has a shirt. It doesn't show he has an 8 pack. I don't know. It's just like you can't see it. When he has a shirt on, you see his arms. His arm, you can see his arm got a bit of muscle, but it's only just that a little bit from a point of view. And he's faster and stronger. Not fast, not like when I be doing my other ones, but like one punch can knock somebody fall. It can make them fall or get back, push a couple a couple inches. Like it's like a punch, and it can knock you out with a couple punches, like 2, 3 punches. But yeah. Now on the last day, all of them all of them was going to think, knowing that they're going to be heroes. They didn't want to sign to any normal high school, so the teacher simply threw the papers up and says, "Forget about it," stuff like that. And says, "I knew you're going to be heroes." But he introduces the people that want to go UA. Zuko is one of them. This is when everybody turns to him saying he can't be a hero. He's quirkless. He's a loser. He doesn't know anything in life. Basically, things like that. Now, but the one that steps up the most is Bakugo Koski. He's the one that tells him everything, every useless thing in his life. He tells him whether he's wrong, which is always to him, whether he's this and that, whether he's going to be this and that. He's the one that basically he's the most bullied person. He bullies him the most. He tells him the most wrong about himself. Basically anything, but that doesn't stop Deku at all. Doesn't stop him. Now, when he's out of school after getting finished from a beating, he runs into the sludge villain. Now, when he runs to the sludge, why he runs into the sludge villain? It's simply because he took a shortcut to his way home, not one of the long routes because it's very hot. Now, Izuku got caught in the sludge villain's attack, suffocating him, trying to take over his body. All Might come out of the sewers, punch the out of the sludge villain and locks him up. But before that, he grabs onto All Might while he's flying and he asks All Might a simple question when he gets up there. All Might, can I become a hero? It seemed like an eternity, but for a few seconds, All Might says, "No, no, Midoriya, you cannot become a hero. You will get in people's way of becoming a hero. I mean, will get people's when getting the hero's way and show your quickness. You can't be the first quickest hero." Why he says that he then leaps off nervously because he almost ran out of time there, not from knowing his secret. That's why he did said all that quickly and vanished. Now standing there, seeing like a freaking eternity, but I said for a couple seconds, he says he started crying but laughing at the same time, like an insane laugh but crying. He's basically depressed right now. He doesn't like he lost all hope in becoming a hero. Yeah, he lost all hope of becoming the first Quirky's hero or even becoming a hero in general. He doesn't want to become a hero. He lost all hope in that. His number one hero, his idol, his hero, the person he idolizes most, he told him that he can't be a hero. Not even the first Quirky's hero at that. He can't be a hero in general. So I so then I just started laughing and like as he started laughing mightily and crying at the same time, it starts getting louder and louder and louder, and it's like it echoes throughout the whole entire world when suddenly a release of power, dark green with a swirl of black covers his whole body while he screams very, very loud. Everybody can hear it. It's like the whole world shakes within that moment. And then he passes out. Now that ended. Nobody doesn't know where it came from, how who did it, but it's worrying to put a shivering down everybody's spine. All for one, everybody's spine. After he wakes up, he actually wakes up in the hospital, being found out by a random hero while he was chilling on the roof. And that hero was Aizawa. Now, as Zuko wakes up, heart monitors start beep 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 beep. Beep. He's looking up with a total of shock, and he says, "What happened?" And this is when Doctor Swarm coming in, checking up on him. Then he remembers what happened, and he puts his head down in sadness. Then also, he says, "How long was I out?" While one of the doctors checking up on his body says, 4 months. While he says, "What?" He says, "Yes." And then this is when he check up on him and says, "You're ready to go." Now Zuko walks home knowing what happened during the 4 months. He's shocked he's been asleep for that long, not knowing what happened before. He passed out. That means he doesn't remember the power thing. He doesn't remember that he yelled that loud. He doesn't remember anything. Now, what he do remember is something that happened before the power boost awakening. All Might, everything. He goes home. He sees a car he doesn't really recognizes, and he knocks on the door. And then somebody answers, but it's not the person he thought he would answer. It's not his mother. It's a random person. Now he asks him, what are you doing in my house? Well, she says, kid, stop playing with me. This is my house. Wait, so where's the person that bought it before? You mean the Midoriya's? Yes. Says, well, Inko Midoriya has died in a villain attack between heroes and villains. This shook his whole entire world. Her smile was everything to him. Her laughter was everything to him. That's the reason why he kept going in his will and his strive. He kept being a hero. Now she's gone. While then he writes, and then he drops with his tears, and he shows, and it says, "Who are you again? My name is Izuku Midoriya." While the person eyes widen and says, "Wait, you are the is her son?" It says, yes, I'm sorry for your loss. And then he closes the door, not giving a care. But he just shot that he was his son. Then then he goes to the grave where she is. And guys, don't worry, I got the information. Don't worry about it. But yeah, he goes to the grave where Inko Midoriya is, and then he prays. He prays to the Lord, to anybody that can hear him, to please give me back my mother back. She's the only person that's been there for me. While then he touches the ground with a green light coming, with a light green coming off his palm, green and black light coming off his palm, and her grave starts to rumble a bit, and you see a hand, you see a whole hand rise above the grave and come out, which is scaring the shit out of Izuku. He doesn't know what is going on. And then the light palm of his hand stops while the full body of Inko Midoriya rises up and looks at him and says, Mom? And but while the dead woman's body zombie just stands there in silence, which then he says, Mom, while he's crying to see her alive but not in her normal state. Which is then he says, which then he thinks that he's doing this, hold up, guys. Which then he's very well shocked at the what he has done. He doesn't know what to do. He just knows she have to go back. She has to live in peace. She has to. And then suddenly he says that in his mind while the body goes back inside the grave, and the grave just the grave just uncovers itself with type of levitation magic or something, and then all of a sudden he passes out. First using his powers, now he passes out. He sees a person on a throne having a sword at his hand, white hair, and a stubborn, serious look. While then he wakes up, he says, what the hell was that? That was infuriating pain. And he says, get up, Izuku. While then he gets up, hearing the serious voice in his tone, the deep voice in his tone. And then he says, who are you? Says, I am Hasashi Midoriya, and you are my son. This is when he says, what? And then he starts freaking out. What the hell? Why was he there for Mom? She's dead, you know. He says whole different stuff. He says, quiet, Izuku. While then Izuku just shuts up really fast. And guys, this is actually Hashi, but it's going to be Izuku. Now Hashi has long hair, longer than this one. He's not wearing this type of clothes, but he does have the sword. He has longer hair, and he has that thing right there. But it's not. He looks like though. It's not. He looks like. Now then, he says, "Dad, where were you?" And then he goes up to Izuku and says, "I'm sorry, Izuku. I'm sorry I wasn't there for your mother, but I had to go back. I am the Undead Lord. I have business to take care of." While then, he says, "You are the what?" This is when he explains how his job is. I don't know how his job is either. I'm just saying stuff. But yeah, he explains he has powers of anybody in the entire world. He's stronger than All Might. He's stronger than anybody. And then he says, "Izuku, you will take all my power and I will die. I've been inside your soul for so long, watching you grow up in pain and suffering, and that broke your heart. Your heart is darkened now, Izuku. You have no love in your heart. But you have to make the world a better place. Make it your world. Make it the world you want to. And make it your vision." This is when it's like he faded of green and black smoke and went inside Izuku's body, which it burns. His heart is burning. His whole body is burning while the whole entire earth, that mindscape that he was in, it started crumbling, rocks falling, the earth is breaking, and he falls in it. He wakes up screaming, and now he came out the grave. Now he's screaming out the grave, while then memories started showing up inside his brain. It's like it's engraved in there. It's like he was like it's like it was that he was born. He knows everything about his powers. He knows what his powers is, and also his whole body just changes. He got taller. He's about 6'1" now. He's toned, guys. I'm gonna say this. He's exactly like the image in the inside the thumbnail. He's exactly like this. Now then, the grave starts to rumble. He says, "Yes, come up, my fellow undead." He, while then, every single Mort member comes up from the grave and bows down and says, "My lord, my lord, my lord." While then he's, what the hell? But then yeah, it says, "My lord," and also a green burst of energy you can see shots up into the sky. While then everybody gets that unfamiliar feeling again from 4 months ago. Whatever it is, it's coming. It's not the energy that it was before, like it was awakening. The energy is burst around the world, is sadness, anger, betrayal, agony, and it's coming for everybody. Which then it stops. Izuku just sinks underground, while then he's on a layer with a throne. It's like underground, like y'all know, like underground layer, but it has no doorway or nothing like that. It's like an underground layer. Boom. He sinks underground from the morgue, and you can see it's a throne and a house and things like that right there. He starts to plan. He starts to plan his destruction upon the world. He starts to plan what he will do, but he stops wondering, what's a lord without his queen? What's a king without his queen? But he shoves that off for quite a bit. Then, when this happens, a couple days later. Now it's not time for the what you call it though, for the UA exams. But I should skip to that, right? Yeah, I'm gonna skip to the UA exams. Now Izuku is on top of the UA exam and everything. He's not inside the room, but he's on top of it. It's like a room. Y'all know on football stadiums, stuff like that. Y'all know the people that be talking be on a thing, and it's like there's something above it, like a stand or something. That's what he's standing on. He's watching all the examiners and their quirks to see if there would be a problem in the future. He starts to analyze the quirk with his god eyes, basically seeing power in their quirk and how it works and how can you improve it. He analyzes all of that and puts it inside his mind. He also does that during the heroes inside the heroes spectating, and the person he finds the most troublesome is, well, two people, actually three. Aizawa, no, four. Aizawa, Endeavor, All Might, and Nezu. All Might, strength and speed. Nezu's smartness. Aizawa's eraser quirk and the tense flames of Endeavor could be a problem. So he's going to solve that out. While then he teleports inside the room with a dark mist, green aura engulfs the room, and he's actually behind Endeavor with a sword at his throat, saying, "Don't move," in a dark, deep voice, or I will kill each and every one of you. Only one will be dying today. It will not be me. As then All Might says, "What do you want? Who even are you?" This is the embark of the Undead Lord. This will mark the day of my return and their revenge on you. While he points at All Might, what's everybody's thinking? What the fuck did he cause now? What the hell did he bring upon the world? Aizawa tries to listen to his quirk, but it doesn't work. He's saying, "Aizawa, you are one of the most troublesome heroes here. Able to erase quirks, but you can't erase mine. Mine is not a quirk. Mine is a power within my heart, within my soul. It's engraved in my entire eternity. Reincarnation after reincarnation after reincarnation. Mine is not a quirk. Mine is my power." While then he stabs the sword through Endeavor's neck and says, "Bye, idiotic heroes," while he sinks within the ground again, vanishing, while the mist is simply leaving the room. It's like a teleportation thing. While every hero dares, especially the girls, scream, sing, "Endeavor!" while they take him to the hospital. Because he was breathing a little, but guys, he's going to die. He's actually going to die. I don't care. He's going to die for this Shoto. But yeah, they take the hospital. Even before they arrived, he was already dead. While then All Might then starts to get very, very angry. Everybody in the whole world actually hears about this. Endeavor is dead. And the person that did it was the Undead Lord, they called him. Now, Shoto and them are actually happy. Ri can live her life. With her family. They have he already have his will, talking about they on the whole thing, which made them pretty sad. But even with all the abuse and stuff, Shoto and them can live a life that they want to. Which then Shoto actually thanks Undead Lord for doing this. He can live without his father torturing his family. Not torturing his family, but y'all know what I mean. And without putting Ri inside a mental hospital. That's because Izuku knows about Endeavor. That's why he targeted him first. He knows about how he did to his family, how his quirk was most troublesome out of everybody to his quirk because it was fire. Now, if y'all don't get it, Bones, with the intense heat of his flames, it's literally called Hellfire. Doesn't mean it's the strongest, but it's called Hellfire. He can basically melt bones. So yeah, that's why I killed him first. But I hope y'all enjoying this what if though. Now, Izuku knows all about the USJ plans. So then he goes to a certain villain that he knows, but got information about and knows the information of his base. the League of Villains. Now, Izuku, while they're talking about the plan of the USJ, Izuku simply, like, mist started going up inside the room while there's green as like lightning cracks. You can hear it within a mist. While then somebody just sinks up from the ground with his arms folded with a sword in the back and says, "I see you have trouble planning, I see." While then Shigaraki says, "Who the hell is you?" "The Undead Lord." While then Dabi eyes widen, which Izuku sees this and smirks at Dabi, making notice he probably knows his secret. While Dabi doesn't say anything, he just shocks. Then they all shot as well. All for one is listening on the other room. Says, "I have a proposition." All for one, and I know you can hear me. Says, "What is it?" "The death of All Might." Well, then everybody starts to get excited. Well, especially All for one. And then he says, I have ability to conjure up the death. I am a necromancy, the Undead Lord, Death Lordship. I am death itself. Well, then you can see I can give you an army, but be ready by time. Because once we start, it will be an eternity. Well then, what you call it? Well then, he sinks to the ground, and every mist and stuff like that just disappears. While all of them here, All Might laughing maniacally, and the only person who knows what he's thinking is Kurogiri and Shigaraki, knowing that he wants to take his quirk, which they have an idea of that. And Shigaraki starts laughing too. But guys, I'm telling you this, All Might's actually stronger in this one. He's not by his prime because he is weakened by the wound, but he's stronger than he was in canon. Now you're saying why? Because I want to make him a good match for my boy. Now Izuku starts conjuring up the undead, his whole undead army, bringing up dead people and their corpse. He actually brought up Endeavor too. When he inside his grave, he actually brought up him as well. So he has Endeavor by his side and people in the grave, undead people. Now then he starts to turn. No, basically they are skeletons. Some of them are zombies. Some of them are mummies. And y'all want to see how did he does this. Basically he's undead. Basically mummies are dead, zombies are dead, he's undead. And y'all want to be like, well, vampires, if I was thinking, I won't do vampires because I don't know, because they're too powerful. They'll wipe out any universe. But yeah. So after planning, he has an army. I would say about cause like you don't need a lot for the heroes like that. So I'm gonna say about 2,000. Most of them are zombies and mummies. That's it. Some of the mummies can control sand and bandages and stuff. The zombies, they can bite you and turn to other people, stuff like that. Why they can control their speed and strength and stuff. Yep. And also skeletons too. They're mastery at swordsmanship. So then one day while he was taking a walk, disguising himself as a normal person with white hair and green eyes, he hears screaming in the alleyway, and then he sees a girl and a man. The man is awfully drunk, but it doesn't matter. He sees the man really forcing himself upon her, putting down her pants and things like that. But he couldn't reach him because Izuku pushed him back lightly, but he still flew to the wall, cracking some bones. He can't move. It's his rib is cracking. His leg is cracked. He lightly pushed at him, while then he swiftly is in front of the lady. while she is scared shitless, like she is scared. Now now then he says pull your pants up. While she gets herself like gets herself good, like ready and stuff like that. He says, why didn't you use your quirk? It says it's because I'm quirkless. While she's waiting for him to laugh, he stares at her blankly and says, so you're quirkless. Do you want power? Do you want absolute order? And do you want law? She thinks about this, and she's thinking she can have power. She can have to herself. She says, and she looks at her, he looks at her with absolute seriousness. While then he opens his mouth. It's shiny though. It's shiny, super shiny. His teeth are shiny, but then fangs start to grow on his side of his mouth, and then he quickly bites on her neck, drawing blood out her neck. While then she falls unconscious. Then he goes up to the man, still crying and stuff like that, can't move, and he holds him up and cracks his neck. While then he leaves, leaving mist behind, marking that he was there. Now then, after a couple days, the USJ is almost here. The USJ is almost there, but after a couple days, she wakes up and she doesn't scream, but she wakes up and she is very well. Very well, feeling amazing. She feel like she can go eternity without sleep, food. She's stronger, faster. She's anything she wants to be. So then, and basically, he simply walks inside the living room, basically, because he lives in he's underground, guys. He's underground, but it's like a mansion. Okay, it's like a mansion. Now, and then he comes in with coffee. You can smell the sweetness of the coffee, but it's also good. She says, what did you do to me? Inside happiness, it's like, what did you do to me? It says, well, I changed you. I made you a vampire. While then she says, what? Like she screams, what? How? Who are you? While then he says, please stop yelling. It irritates me. While then he looks at her with pure madness while she's kind of scared and says, you are the vampire queen. Your senses are doubled by 100. You have immense strength and speed. Your reflexes are above human capacity. You are not human. You have the power to create, manipulate, and shape fire. And stuff like that, guys. Stuff like that. You are also immortal. And for me, I am the undead lord. While then his spirit tries to change, sword around his back, and he looks menacing as freak. While then an image of him, a monster like behind him of an image, a green dragon, jade dragon, starts to go up and roars, and then he powers off, which him still having a handsome look, white eyes and white hair, white crystal hair, and green jade eyes. As then finally seeing his face clearly, she starts to blush really hard. Now, then he says, are you okay? Why then he feels her forehead with his head and says, you are pretty hot. You know that, right? Well, then she says, what? Well, then he says, of course, like your temperature. Well, then he says, oh, yeah. Well, then it says, so now you have this power. You have to sworn loyalty to me. Well then, well then, she looks at him weird and says, "Not like that, idiot." While he looks at her with a face of like a funny face, not funny face, but like an annoyed face already, which made her laugh. Which then starts to blush because her laugh is beautiful. And then this is when my bad guys, but then he didn't, but then he didn't, he didn't. My bad, scratching. But then he's saying, "Go clean yourself up. You look like a mess." While then he sees her wearing dirty clothes, and what you call it, guys, with wearing dirty clothes, and her hair is dirty too. It has marks on it. While she has like white hair and purple, I mean light pink purple eyes. And then after she gets done from her shower, she had a long time because she is poor. She was abandoned by her family a long time ago. She feels amazing. And they says, "So, what are you going to do next?" He says, "First, I'm going to do this." While then, he's in front of her and kisses her. And then all she says nothing back. She kisses him, and then they have their little fun. And then they wake up next morning. Now, guys, it's UA. It's time for the UHJ. Now then, guys, they did bring the normal just in case, but not no villains. But yeah, all right, guys. So then she knows, and guys, this is her right here. If y'all haven't figured out yet, this is her. Her name is Moon. If y'all didn't know that yet, because I don't know what y'all think, but yeah, but this is her suit, like she's wearing in combat, and she gets guns and stuff, and she can grow claws and fangs and stuff like that. She's the vampire queen, of course. But yeah. So guys, then now it's time for the USJ. They automated, and a portal starts to appear, while the mist with cracking sounds of lightning. Everybody knows this sound. They heard it while they're fighting Endeavor. And then they all start to see two people come out the mist instead of one. A beautiful woman with a suit and a person rising up from the ground with a sword on his back, while they image them looking like a queen and a king against the world. And then he sees Shigaraki and all of them, the Nomu and the whole LOV. Now, Ida, being faster in this one, knows what's going on, and then he hurries up and goes to the door and runs to get the heroes. While then Shigaraki tries to go, but then Izuku says no. While then Kurogiri tries to go to the door, and then the Kurogiri and Shigaraki says, "Why? You need to get All Might right. He's clearly not here. Think, idiots. We need him and the heroes to make the heroes and All Might extinct. That's the plan." While then they think, but then they're actually mad because they call him an idiot. And then also, you can then also got to wait for a couple minutes, like just waited for some time, and because the 1A is shaking it with fear, like are just shaking it with fear. and then you can see a whole army of heroes come onto the USJ. This is when you see heroes start to appear. A lot of heroes. Number one to all the heroes basically starts to appear, and then this is when he says, "Undead, rise!" While then the ground starts crackling, and every single undead person behind them starts in front of them starts to conjure up, go out while holding some. You can see mummies, swords, skeletons of sword, and you can see zombies. Now then, well, you guys see Endeavor dead body. He's like a zombie, but he's dead too. Well then, All Might's like, Endeavor, hear me, my friend. Well then, Endeavor can't hear anything. He's dead. He's still got total control over him. He says, show them what we can do. Show them that the undead will finally rise again. Then it all starts to like a roar, anger, like a war roar. And then they all charge at each other, clashing, a battle of heroes and villains, mummies and heroes, people with different type of quirks. The mummies and basically the undead, I'm gonna say, meaning everybody, the undead has the upper hand, while Shigaraki and them is waiting there, while then Shigaraki says, "Get All Might, my Nomo." Well then All Might starts a battle. All Might with them clashing, air pressures pushing, but they still kept fighting. The heroes kept fighting. The undead still kept fighting, and the undead can regenerate, so there's no point thinking you can win. They're literally undead. They have control. Now, after some time, All Might finishes the normal finding out his weak point, and then Shigaraki is pissed off, saying, "God damn it, my Nomu master, come out." While then, All For One is behind Izuku and grabs him by the throat, and then he tries to take his quirk, and he says like, "Wait, what? No." And then this is when Izuku applies pressure to his body, making him go down to the ground, and he grabs All For One's neck and says, "I knew you would do this." My God, so guys, I think I'm going to puberty. I don't think I'm going to puberty, guys. Then, god damn. Then this is when Deku starts to Then this is when Deku starts to grab his freaking neck instead and pull him up to the air. While then everybody sees this, it says, "You think you can take my quirk? It's not even a quirk, dumbass." Then I say I'm death himself. "You are nothing but a mere villain people fear. But me, you are nothing." While he crushes his neck, while Shigaraki and Kirigiri and the whole LOV charges at Izuku, except for Dabi. And then everybody starts trying to go at Deku, except for the undead. But the heroes can't do that because the undead is literally keeping them from doing it. But yeah, when they battle, you can clearly see Deku is playing with them, throwing them, kicking them to the side. And then he says, "That's enough." And he summons his sword to his hand. He smashes it to the ground while a huge aura just covers the entire ground. And then the zombies and the mummies go bigger and can feel the aura becoming powerful. And then it starts to defeat the heroes more quickly. And it kills the LOV, except for Dabi. While then Izuku looks at Dabi and says, "Why don't attack me? Because you killed my father. I know that, Toya." Todoroki. Well, then he's shocked, and then Izuku says, "Go to your family. Go. I will spare you this time." Well, then the W flies off with fire. Now, then all the heroes. All rest of the heroes that's alive looks at Izuku resummoning the undead, and then some of the heroes say, "Are you stupid? Is this man stupid? You think you can defeat all of us with All Might?" Aizawa, and they cause all the other heroes know Miracle and all of them. While then Moon Moon is repairs beside him and says, "I ready to do this, baby?" Of course. While then he starts charging at the heroes, killing them quickly with her claws and her pistols and stuff like that. Which them, while the heroes starts to get scared, actually, they're like their own army. Now, damn it, guys, hold up. While then they start to some starts to run away, but they kept on coming faster and faster. They kept on slashing, killing, no, just like they just kept killing people. Now then, All Might steps up and says, "You will not kill anymore." While then he runs at him, Azuka, with great speed and anger. He starts to clash with his fist to fist, and All Might's actually shocked that he can go head to head with him, except for All for One in a normal. But he keeps on fighting. All Might added more punches, more speed, more strength to his punches, giving all of it, while Izuku just like, but kick, double kick, triple kick, a Chiha split kick, stuff like that. And simply the Uzumaki kick when he just kicks in the air, stuff like that. Then this is when he says, "I'm done with this." While then he goes behind All Might, but then the snipe is literally sniping from the air, and then you can hear a gunshot go to Izuku's brain, and he falls down. While then my snipe says, "Got him." And then this is when All Might looks that the direction and nods, knowing killing is bad, but nods knowing it has to be true. Then Moon says, "Izuku, no. Please, Izuku, I need you." While then Bakugo says, "Wait, did you say Izuku?" While then he starts walking towards her. While then she points a pistol at him and says, "Don't move, our cue within a split second." While then her eyes starts to grow red, and her aura starts growing, and a menacing aura just comes up from her body. You can see a huge snake of white screeches at them, and then she starts killing the UA students and killing all the heroes that's left. Tries killing All Might, but then All Might holds her captive, holding her, not letting her go. While then All Might breaks her arms and her legs. While then she screams in pain, but she is regenerating, and that's when you can see a Mark 4. You can feel a way more menacing aura. You can feel it from his body. He's awakening. While then she smiles and said, "You're dead." And then he has a throne. He's sitting on the throne. It's like you can see him sitting on a throne easily, and he says, "You will die, All Might." Then a huge snake comes, and eats All Might, while then he rests aside Izuku's throne, seconds guarding him. While then Moon goes on his lap, and you can see a king and a queen. And that's where we're going to end it off, guys. This is amazing. I feel like this is going to be the best one ever. Now, that's it for the video. Drukage is out. I love y'all. Please like, comment, subscribe. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Please subscribe for more bangers. Like for more bangers. Comment for more ideas. Let's get it popping, ladies and gentlemen. Drukage.